You can like, share, subscribe. You can donate via PayPal. The link is in the description. So welcome one and all, welcome one and all. We're going to discuss a little bit about why Tszyu significantly was destroyed by Bakhram Murtazaliev. We'll talk a little bit about that. But first, all praise be to the Most High God. The Most High God comes first in everything we do, in everything we say. And while I am cooking some food here in the kitchen, we're going to discuss this fight. First of all, this channel is sponsored by LIVE Products. LIVE, live now. We're live now. And I'm going to talk to you guys about the different brands of LIVE products. If you're in the Trinidad and Tobago area, you can place your order today. LIVE products. We're going to talk about the different products that we have here. We have fruit punch. We have orange. We have sorrel. We have grapefruit. We also have Morby, and we also have lime. The different flavors of LIVE drinks, because we have an LIVE brand line. But the LIVE is not just limited to drinks, natural fruit juices, no preservatives in them. But we also have in our LIVE line cleaning agents, such as you have your all-purpose cleaner or disinfectant. You have your dishwashing liquids. You have the LIVE liquid detergent, and you have LIVE fabric softener. LIVE. Live now, because we're live now. I'm what you need. You're watching my channel again. Welcome to my channel. Those of you who have not been to my channel before, even though this is not the greatest depiction of the Most High God. Most High God is above right there. And we're going to get into why Tszyu lost so horribly to Bakhram Murtazaliev. We're going to go into that, the Russian fighter. That's what this stream is about. So if you haven't smashed the like button, now's a good time to smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, maybe this is a good time to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't donated via PayPal, that's up to you. But if you want to share this video, if you want to comment on this video in the chat, feel free to do so. But do me a favor, if you come on here and you like what you're seeing, don't just roll out of here, use what you're seeing, and start spouting out what you heard on this channel. No, do me a common courtesy and smash that like button. And if you feel so inclined to subscribe to the channel, also subscribe. And if you feel so inclined, also donate. That's how we do things out here. Because it's nice when people acknowledge and pay tribute to the sources of knowledge that disseminate knowledge, because we know what you need is on here to give you what you need and not necessarily what you want. Let's get into it. So the first thing that you have to understand with Tszyu when he was fighting this fight was that Tim did not realize he was fighting, or at least he took it for granted, at least, that he was fighting a guy with a much longer reach than he was, and also a guy who knew how to use his long reach, and a guy also who was taller than him. If you look at Bakhram Murtazaliev's height, he's 5'11". He had a 74-inch reach, and 73-inch reach, sorry. Tszyu, I believe, has a 70-inch reach, and I think he's 5'9". At least that's what it's registered at. So the guy has a longer reach than you. Now, maybe Tszyu took this for granted because he fought his most recent fight against Fundora. Fundora was much taller and much longer than him, so he probably thought he could handle the situation the same way. The difference is that Murtazaliev is not just a guy that throws punches. He's a guy that's systematic in how he throws, like Tszyu. And the other thing is that he fought mostly at mid-range. Murtazaliev is really good at mid-range fighting as well, as Tszyu is good at mid-range fighting. Now, just for the record, Artur Beterbiev fought Dmitry Bivol. And Dmitry Bivol has a shorter reach than Artur Beterbiev. If I'm not mistaken, Dmitry Bivol's reach is 72 inches, and I believe Artur Beterbiev's reach is 73 inches. So Artur Beterbiev actually has an advantage in reach. However, Beterbiev was shorter than Dmitry Bivol. He's 5'11". I think Dmitry Bivol is 6 feet. But the point is reach. Beterbiev had a much longer reach than Dmitry Bivol. It's very important to remember. Now, I will recall to you guys a fight that happened a little while ago. A fight between Josecito Lopez and Keith one-time Thurman. I will recall for you guys, Keith Thurman was dominating the fight until the 7th round when Josecito Lopez caught him with something and hurt him. And Keith Thurman could not pull a way out of the range of Josecito Lopez for nothing. He just kept on getting tagged nonstop by Josecito Lopez. And do you know why? Because Josecito Lopez was both taller than Keith Thurman and had a longer reach than Keith Thurman. And Keith Thurman kept on misjudging and misestimating the reach of Josecito Lopez every time he tried to snap back and get out of the way of the punches. And so he kept on getting hit. Tszyu made that very fatal mistake in misjudging the reach and therefore the range of Murtazaliev. And that's what cost him this fight. He misjudged the reach and the range of Murtazaliev. In fact, before Tszyu was stopped, he was using his jab to try and like this. He was trying to keep an extended jab to gauge where Murtazaliev was before the towel was thrown in and the referee stopped the fight. And the reason I'm saying this again is because the problem with this fight was range. But there was another problem that Tszyu had, and he didn't realize it. And that is his game plan, his game strategy. Sort of like Devin Haney miscalculated his game strategy against Ryan Garcia. Similarly, Tszyu miscalculated his game plan, his game strategy going into the Murtazaliev fight. He was trying to fight Murtazaliev. He was trying to fight Murtazaliev, Bakhram. He was trying to fight him with the wrong game plan, with the wrong strategy. Now, Tszyu is a mid-range fighter. He's a pressure fighter. But Murtazaliev is also a mid-range fighter and a pressure fighter. So if I am going to be fighting in the same range as you are going to be fighting, then it means I need to use defense. My defense needs to be on point to make sure I don't get hit with shots, crazy shots by you, because both of us can hit each other. But I want to be able to hit you, and you shouldn't be able to hit me. And this is the difference between Dmitry Bivol, who understands range very well, and Tszyu, who was careless and miscalculated and misjudged range. And then when he was within the range of fire to be hit, he got hit because he wasn't using defense. Terrence Crawford said to Tszyu, Ninja need to move his head. You need to move your head, Tszyu, right? Either Tszyu needed to move his head or he needed to cover up. He needed to block the shots. Either he's getting under the shots, you need to dip under those shots, those hooks, because a lot of hooks were thrown. He either needed to go under the shots or he needed to block the shots, right? Or he needed to slip the shots. But Tim kept on getting hit because he was lazy on his defense and he was focused a lot on his offense. He thought he could go in there and mow the guy down. And instead, he got mowed down. So, 3 different things we talked about. 1, range. The other guy had a longer reach. So Tszyu, when he thought he was out in the clear and he was safe, he still got hit with shots. 2, he fought the same style as the other guy, and he fought at the same range as the other guy. He's most effective at that range. So he needed to have extra acute defense. He needed to keep his defense pretty tight, and he didn't. He was focused on his offense. He wasn't focused so much on his defense. And so it was exploited. And then finally, the most important one was that Tszyu underestimated his opponent and thought he could get him out of there and overpower him because he had dealt with a longer, taller opponent in Fondora before. And while he was having success offensively on the guy, and in fact, he was the guy I think that first landed the big punch on anybody. While he had some success on the guy, it was at a tremendous price to him defensively because the guy was throwing at the same time he was throwing. And he had no defensive maneuver. He had no defensive anything put in place. When he was throwing his offense, his defense was open and wide open. And Bakhram Murtazaliev exploited that. So I believe that Tszyu all around made those 3 fatal errors, and it cost him big time. And his father was very confident about fighting that style of fighting, but Tim just didn't cut it. The execution wasn't what I guess they were expecting to have, and the results were not what they expected to have either. So that's sad. Again, smash the like button. Smash the like button. If you're in here, don't just listen to the material that I'm saying and run away with my material, and you're not giving any acknowledgement for it. I think that's rude. I think that's also very much going to bite you in the ass later on in your life, because what goes around comes around. All right, so having said that, let's get into some specifics. This fight didn't last longer than 3 rounds. It went 3 rounds. Bakhram Murtazaliev showed us that he has good timing. He has good countering skills. He was able to hurt Tszyu early. They were both throwing hooks at the time, and Tszyu got hurt with a hook. Now, after that, you would think that Tszyu would keep his phone, he'd keep the phone in the phone booth. I'm not in the phone booth, but he'd keep his head to the phone, right? Nope, didn't do that. He tried to fight fire with fire. Wouldn't take a step back, wouldn't step around Murtazaliev, knowing that the guy is really strong and so on, step around him a little bit, approach him from different angles. That was what Dmitry Bivol did to Artur Beterbiev. Artur Beterbiev is way stronger than Murtazaliev because, of course, he's in a different weight class and all of that, but he's way stronger. But look how Dmitry Bivol dealt with a guy who had a longer reach than him. And Tszyu didn't take a step back. He just went straight back into the fire and was kind of flat-footed as well, going back into the fire, thinking that this guy's easy work or something. I don't know what he was thinking, and maybe overconfident or something, and just left his defense open to just get connected with left hooks and number of combinations. So the other guy throws combinations as well. And he just kept on getting hit with that left hook. He got hit with that left hook a number of times. And I think that's because he was overconfident going into the fight, thinking this guy's easy work. And the guy wasn't easy work. Okay? And then he was fighting hurt. He got put down, I think, 3 more times after he was put down the first time, which was pretty ugly. He was put down the first time pretty ugly. And then the other 3 more times that he got put down before the towel was thrown in, he was put down pretty ugly again. he got hurt pretty bad. The guy is a big, strong guy. Even though Terrence is saying that the big, strong guy overpowered him because he was stronger, I think it wasn't just that. I think it was just that the guy is longer and his reach, where Tszyu thinks he's in the clear, he wasn't in the clear, you know? And I believe Tim started to fight on instinct after he got hurt so badly. And so people are saying that Tim Tszyu's career is over. He's done. He's not on that level, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to say all of that. I'm not going to say all of that. And I think what Terrence Crawford said is also accurate. I think that he misjudged the guy. He completely underestimated the guy. And this is why you don't underestimate anyone in the sport of boxing. You don't. Especially people who don't have a name. You don't underestimate them because they're going to make a highlight reel out of you. And that's how small there is for error in boxing. You know? There's not much room for mistakes in boxing. So when you see Bivol outbox Beterbiev, you need to appreciate what you're seeing because this guy, he's not just doing things out of luck. There's no luck in boxing. That's practice and practice and practice. That's experience. That's knowledge. Knowing what to do in what situation. Which clearly Tszyu did not know what to do in that situation. After he got knocked down the first time, he could have turned around and won that fight. Had he realized, all right, this guy got some juice in his punches. Now I need to change up my game plan. I got to figure out how I want to go into the pocket. I have to approach this guy with different angles going into the pocket. I need to also be keeping my defense tight as I go into the pocket. He did no such adjustments. Right? Even if you're not a guy that can dip out of punches or slip punches, keep your two guard up. Right? Keep your two guard up. And make sure you block those shots and keep your defense tight. And focus on your defense and focus on coming off your jab to close distance. Right? You got to be now ultra observant, ultra attentive, not ultra aggressive, not trying to get it back. And that's where Dimitri Bivol is different. That's where Floyd Mayweather is different. That's where Shakur Stevenson is different. I don't need to get you back right now. I want to make sure I'm in the right position to get you back. And when I do, you're going to feel it. And so being more strategic, being more intentional, being more deliberate, using what you know and what you have now to its maximum. You know, a wake-up call is a wake-up call. Just because you got a dog and you don't mean you have to come out like a dog. Devin Haney threw away his fight with Ryan Garcia in a manner of speaking, in the sense that he went so dog. He had hurt Ryan with a jab. He went so dog after that. He just kept on trying to throw the right hand and land the right hand. He got right hand happy. And that's cool. You're a dog, but you're not a smart dog. You're not strategically trying to set up Ryan. You're not strategically trying to set traps for him so that you could rain down, crash him when you need to crash him. And these are the things that a much more seasoned fighter, a much smarter fighter knows. So when you look at Bivol, you don't just look at Bivol and just talk about Bivol. Bivol shows us how much smarter a fighter he is than, say, a Tszyu, who is a warrior. Yeah, all of them are warriors. But he didn't know how to make the adjustment. Now, you say, well, he's hurt, so he's probably fighting on automatic. He's fighting. This is the automatic part of him that's fighting, which, again, Devin Haney was the same thing. I do agree to some degree that's automatic. But if you've been rehearsing for situations like that, if you've been working on situations like that, you be prepared for that situation. So even if it's automatic, it's going to go into an automatic mode where you're thinking defense. Not just offense, not just getting back the guy. And that's the difference Boxing is a sport where you have to, through repetition, put it into your DNA or put it into your subconscious so that it's something you subconsciously do. So we will resort to that when the situation gets real, or at least you hope to, instead of, and that's the difference between a boxer who learns something over a camp and a boxer who's been doing things for years. Because a boxer who's done something in camp, he gets hit the wrong way and all that stuff goes out the window because it's not been rehearsed for a very long time. Whereas a boxer who has been doing it his entire life, whatever he's been doing, will resort to that thing that he's been doing his entire life in the ring when the situation arises for that. You see? So that's the difference. Boxing is not something you can learn overnight. It's not something you can just go in there and just do. It's something it's developed over decades. Okay? And Tszyu has a ways to go when it comes to that. But these tough fights in the beginning could shape him for the future. Or it could destroy him. It could destroy his reputation, could destroy him. We'll see. I don't know. Okay, so what does this set up for Bakhram Murtazaliev? Well, big fights for Bakhram because he just took down a big name, one of the bigger names in the 154 division, Tszyu, So it sets up him to be able to take on maybe a Terrence Crawford or the winner of Sebastian Fundora and Errol Spence Jr. Tszyu will have some rebuilding to do. He'll have to go back to the drawing board and work his way back up. If he's serious about boxing, this wouldn't be the end for him. But if he's not serious about boxing, this could be it. And that's the last hurrah of Tszyu. So we'll see. I don't know. But I would say that, sometimes these things happen. It's boxing. And I wasn't sure if he would get past Bakhram Murtazaliev, to be honest with you. I wasn't sure. I didn't know anything about Bakhram Murtazaliev. Now we know quite a lot about him, that, he can handle a guy on Tszyu's level. So we'll see what happens with that. Did Tszyu ever become world champion? Yes, he did. I believe he became the IBF champion, if I'm not mistaken. So he's been a world champion, but what kind of world champion he'll be or what kind of future he has is really up in the air now. He's given some exciting fights, but just being dusted like that really is going to hurt his stock. It's going to really hurt the brand name of Tszyu. But who knows? Maybe he bounces back from that. A lot of fighters have bounced back from these things. People are saying he's done. People are saying the same thing about Little B-Hop, a.k.a. Showtime, right? They're saying he's done. I don't know about that. It depends on the fighter. He's been stopped now twice at lightweight. Maybe he needs to go down to super featherweight where he's better suited or something. I don't know. We'll see. But what I can say is these fighters, their career is really in their hands. If they want to go on and what necessary adjustments they'll need to make, whether they need to go back to the drawing board and decide if they want to, do things the same way or they want to change up some stuff. So, these guys built a bit of their name, and some of them had a name to begin with when they came in and started being taken seriously and then kind of fall off the grid. That happens. That's life. You have to understand the exceptionally elite fighters that don't fall off the grid and stuff like that. It's because they're exceptionally elite. They do things to the highest standard. But, if you make a mistake, you pay. So that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, so maybe Murtazaliev may have a possible fight with Terrence Crawford next, a unification fight. He's proven he's a world champion by defending his IBF world title. So possibly this is what's going to happen next for him. But we'll see. I don't know. I am what you need. You've been watching my channel. I hope you liked what you're seeing. Like, share, subscribe, donate if you want to. If you want to donate, you can donate via PayPal. The link is in the chat section. This has been brought to you again by LIVE Products. LIVE. Live now. We're live now. We have a line of drinks and we also have a line of cleaning products. I'm going to catch you guys later. I'm what you need. Peace.